Okay. Um, I'm back with some more Soultrader. There have been some changes to the deck since the last time I played it on video anyway. I've been playing it a lot this week. So a couple of changes that were made is we added 4 Flare of Malice. This was a card I didn't want to play just because I don't know, I have a personal vendetta against it, I guess. I just inherently hate the flares. I don't know why, but I went and I put 3 flares in the deck, and then came to the conclusion that it is the best card in the deck, so I ended up going to 4. The reason I say that is Jeskai, Goryo's, Esper midrange are all Solitude Ephemerate decks, and Solitude Ephemerate absolutely bodies this deck. As it exiles targets, so Unearth is bad. It gets 2 when you kind of need a critical mass to either do the mediocre beats plan or, of course, combo off. What Flare of Malice allows you to do is tap out, play whatever, Grave Crawler, Marionette Apprentice, whatever creature, it has to be a non-token, and then you can leave up Flare of Malice. So if they go to Solitude, you let them choose their Solitude target. If they go to Ephemerate it, you Flare of Malice, sacrificing their Solitude target, killing their Solitude, and fizzling their Ephemerate. So it ends up being a 2 for 2. You trade your creature plus Flare for their Solitude plus their Ephemerate. Or in a pinch, it can protect your combo. Or it's just a main deck removal spell when you're playing against things like Prowess, where you need some sort of main deck removal, but there's not really room. Like, if these were Fatal Pushes, it would be nowhere near as good. Fatal Push obviously doesn't hit Solitude. It doesn't hit Quantum Riddler. It hits Frog, which matters. But it's just the best removal. This removal spell is for this deck, basically. This is where this removal spell fits. So we've gone to 4 Flare of Malice. This went over the 3 Thoughtseizes we had in the main deck. And it got rid of, and then also replaced Grist. Because I found with Grist, I only ever wanted him to be a removal spell. I was looking to unearth Grist, minus Grist, kill something. This does that, basically. It doesn't leave a body around, and it requires a black creature, but it requires no mana investment. So you can use your mana to do other things. And this deck is pretty mana starved. There's only 23 mana sources in the deck, so the likelihood of having a 4th mana for anything is pretty rare, with the exception of Phyrexian Tower or if we're flooding out, what have you. Because it's hard to even, like, Surveil or Malevolent Rumble and take the 4th land over something else. So that was a change. The other change is we had a main deck Fulminator, and we've replaced the main deck Fulminator with a 3rd Sephiroth. In my testing, I found that Fulminator was just cute. What I said to my friend was, I feel like the main deck Fulminator is just nonsense. Like, it's only a 1-of, so the likelihood of seeing it is very low against the decks we want to see it. I mean, effectively, we have 3 land hate targets with Beseiju, but I found that I was better off just trying to find Besejus with Malevolent Rumbles and just make the rest of the deck more consistent in the main deck. Sephiroth as well is a combo piece. It replaces Marionette Apprentice, so if you don't have a Marionette Apprentice, you can also go off with Sephiroth. Sephiroth also has the added utility of coming in and drawing a card. Sacrificing a token, draining them for 1, drawing a card, trying to dig deeper. And then, of course, it can do that when it attacks. This hasn't come up. Typically, the flip side of this card, if we've drained them 4 times, we have won the game. Really. Like, the only way we're getting that is if we're winning the game. We also run into these situations where if you're on the mediocre beats plan, a Sephiroth or even like a Marionette Apprentice, typically having 2 of this effect puts them in a position where they can't profitably block at all. Like if you have a bunch of like 1/1 tokens and like grave crawlers and stuff, they can't, and they're at 5. Like they can't profitably block anything other than those two creatures specifically. So I've run into like situations where they just them being on the board makes our mediocre beats plan viable. In regards to the sideboard, I know I made a couple of changes. I don't recall exactly. We're up to 2 Assassin's trophies, no Abrupt Decays. These hit lands, which is really what you want them for. In a pinch, they're removal spells against Prowess, but really these are for big mana, just as a pseudo Stone Rain, just to hit Eldrazi temples, Tron lands when that's relevant, etc. We have the one of Fatal Push to come in as our 5th removal spell against Prowess or even against Esper midrange, just because you need to hit Frog. 2 Reclamation Sage, 2 Fulminator Mages who move 1 from the main deck. We moved it over to the sideboard. Still on Plague Engineer, still believe in this card, being able to name Cat. Again, just wiping out all their cats at once, and then they have to use like a Galvanic Discharge or a Bolt to get rid of it. And then the 3 Dothy Voidwalker for Reanimator variants, for your Gorios, and I've been seeing a lot Living End. So there's a fun thing about Dothy Voidwalker and Living End. If you have a Dothy Voidwalker in play and they Living End, you can sacrifice Dothy Voidwalker to put it in your graveyard. It enters the battlefield before Living End resolves, like as a part of the resolution, and Dothy Voidwalker then exiles Living End under it. So then you can, on your turn, you can then sacrifice Dothy Voidwalker to recast Living End and reset the board. That hasn't come up for me. I mean, I've played Dothy Voidwalker against Living End, but typically you're trying to put a clock on them. So Dothy Voidwalker ends up just attacking for 3. Maybe that's wrong, but if I have no other action in play, like that play used to be big with Rakdos Scam. Just because then you could scam out pre-ban, you could scam out a Fury, and then play Dothy Voidwalker and just leave it on the table and attack with Fury. Or you can scam the Grief, pick apart their hand, and then you have a 3/2 and just be attacking with Grief while you can hold up Dothy Voidwalker as insurance. In this deck, you don't really have that luxury. So you kind of have to put a clock on. It does slow them down though. Like they have to. Typically, what I've seen when I play a Dothy Voidwalker is in response they cycle like an Ent, and then they're just going to Living End, cascade into Living End just to have the one threat. That's kind of what I've seen. Living End has not felt like a great matchup. They have Force of Negations for Thoughtseize, and they will just snap Force of Negation of Thoughtseize. And then they have like 4 Subtlety, 4 Endurance. So like even if you sacrifice your board, like this is what Affinity used to do way back when, like against Living End, is they would just sack their entire board to Ravager, and then they would Living End would resolve, and then they would get their whole board back. That doesn't really work because Living End has 4 Endurance. So when I've tried that, where I just sacrifice everything to Warren Soultrader, they just Endurance you. So that Living End has a lot of protection for free. Like they can cascade into Living End on the stack. They can still do a bunch of shit. So, I mean, they only have so many cards in their hand, but you only have so many answers. So Living End has kind of been a menace. The other thing that's been a menace, and I'm not good against, is Belcher. Lately, Belcher, when I've played against it, has like been playing Belcher on 4 and then trying to untap with it, which gives you some game with Reclamation Sage, Assassin's Trophy. Thoughtseize is kind of your best card in the matchup, but they have a million free counter spells. They have the 4 Force. They have Disrupting Shoal. They have Flare of Denial. Like they have a million ways to counter shit. And they, again, another deck that'll snap counter your Thoughtseize. What I've tried to do to them in the past was just Fulminator Assassin's Trophy is just Sinkhole because they don't have basics in their deck. So Assassin's Trophy just straight blows up a land, so you can try and keep them off of lands long enough to beat them down a little bit and find something like a Beseiju, a Rex Sage that you can recur. What's happened to me when I've done that though is they end up just worrying for, like, they just scramble to 3 mana, whir for um the Lotus that you suspend. I forget which one it is. It's the suspend Black Lotus. They'll whir for that and then just Tamashi combo you. They'll just Tamashi and then cast there. Just keep looping that Lotus and then casting Charbelcher and killing him. So Charbelcher hasn't felt good. I'm 100% against Titan. I have not lost to Titan. Titan lately has either lost to itself or a mixture of Assassin's Trophy, Thoughtseize, Fulminator Mage has just kind of done it. Got the job done against them. I'm 100% against that. I'm about 50-50 against Jeskai and Esper midrange, the two Blink variants. But 50-50 against them. I've beat them as much as I've lost to them. It just comes down to how many Solitudes do they have, and then do we have flares? Do we have a combo? Do we have synergy? And then Boros, I'm kind of like 2-1 against Boros. Boros's best tools against us really is not the main Boros game plan. It's like, what's the word? It's Turbo Flage. The best thing they can do against us is Turbo Flage. Now we do have Flare of Malice to answer the Flage, but I found it's pretty trivial for them to then get more in their graveyard to then Flage again. We do have Bogart Trawlers to answer that. It's not worth bringing in Dothy Voidwalkers against them. Like, that doesn't change. Our sideboard is still Fatal Push, bringing it Plague Engineer against them. Assassin's Trophy if you're really wanting more removal. That's still the plan. But yeah, Turbo Flage. Before I put the third Sephiroth in here, and honestly, it was just because I didn't want to buy them. Like, the third Sephiroth is correct. It's another combo piece. It's a good card to just play. All the text on it is good. I've tested out a couple of things. One, I tested out Village Rites as another way to sack a creature in response to Solitude. To basically to get card advantage. Again, leaving up 1 mana is tough. And I found that, I don't know, it just didn't work. You draw them when they're removing your board, you don't have creatures, you draw into air, it's not giving you a threat, it's sacrificing stuff to try and get more cards, which in theory can be good. I found that I didn't like it. The other thing I tried, or was going to try, was a 1 of Cling to Dust. So instead of the third Thoughtseize, having a 1 of Cling to Dust, 1 mana draws a card, you can cast it from the graveyard, it's incidental graveyard hate against Gorios and against Flages, and to me, I'm like, it's just a 60th main deck card that has main deck utility, and it's good in the main deck even against non-graveyard decks. It has synergy with it being in your graveyard. It seemed good, but then I was like, honestly, that should be a third Sephiroth. Like to me, this is the deck. Like, this is the deck. Just full synergy-based version of the deck. All the cards that should be here. To comment on not running Birthing Ritual, well, I found that they just kill all your shit. Like, if they see a Birthing Ritual, their number one priority is kill all your shit. And then you'll find yourself... It just wasn't good. Every time I had it's the worst card on earth to draw off the top late game. Not to say that Chthonian Nightmare is all that much better, but we fill our graveyard pretty quick. There are lines where it's like, if I draw a Chthonian Nightmare specifically, I win the game. Because then I can Chthonian Nightmare, Unearth, Marionette Apprentice to put 2 bodies on board. I can then use Chthonian Nightmare, sacrifice Marionette Apprentice, sacrifice the token, get back more in Soul Trader. And then you can, it's it's pretty mana intensive, but I've been in situations where Chthonian Nightmare would win the game on the spot where Birthing Ritual wouldn't. It's all and it gives us the 6 reanimation spells, which I think is what we're looking for. And then Marionette Apprentice gives us, with the Sephiroth, gives us 7 Drain Life combo kills. The only thing we don't have additional versions of is Warren Soultrader. There's the 1 mana zombie that sacks to put counters on it as an alternative to Warren Soultrader, which is maybe a consideration as the 5th Soultrader effect instead of the 7th Marionette Apprentice effect, although I think that the Sephiroth is more utility, whatever. The other change I made is I got rid of Skymaster's Vault and put in 1 Phyrexian Tower. I hate Skymaster's Vault or Spymaster's Vault. I do not like that card. Um, if you're in a situation where you're having to sack stuff and then the payoff is you get to connive and make a big thing, that leaves you with 1 big thing. I think it's a Yawgmoth card. It's not a Soultrader card. I found the 1 of Phyrexian Tower to be fine. You can't really run more of this card. It's a 1 of card. That it just is. Back when this deck when MH3 first came out and people were trying to play this, they were running like 3 or 4 Phyrexian Towers and then drawing 3 or 2 or 3 Phyrexian Towers in their opening hand and having to mulligan because they only had colorless mana, or they would keep it hoping that they would spike a colored mana off the top. I played against it in RCQs. I've literally seen this happen. So it's a 1 of fun of. I played in a challenge with it. I only went 3 and 4, came 60th, so I did top 60 for it. But 2 of my losses were game 3s where I punted. Like one of them was I accidentally clicked through my combat phase when attacking for lethal, for example. And then another one was I didn't realize I had grave crawlers in my graveyard. And had I cast the grave crawlers, I would have had enough power to kill them. So, and those are in game 3s. So the deck was better than its pilot in those situations. So I'm still getting some reps in with it. I fear I'm just going to run a league right now because I don't like. It's hard to play and talk at the same time just because you're running down your clock pretty hard. And in a challenge, I think losing to the clock is the greatest feel bad of all time. So I'm going to run a league with it. If it does well, then you'll see this video. If it doesn't, then it'll just chalk it up to my independent testing. So that's enough about the deck tech. Let's go ahead and get into some games. All right, queued up for a game here. Lost the die roll. Boo. Stitcher Supplier, Unearth, Orcish Bowmasters. This is a keep. We can also lead on Stitcher Supplier to give us information in regards to whether or not we want to Unearth or we want to keep up for Orcish Bowmaster. Or Prowess? Good lord. Prowess is everywhere. Darcy. This is one of those, it's a shame we're not on the plays. Show you the cards you know about. Stitcher Supplier is good too. It's not worth killing. I'll block with it. Like. Another Darcy. Third Darcy. Got it. We blue-red Murktide. Like Murktide Prowess. Seen that. So we're priced into killing one of these now. Now it's pretty trivial. An instant and a sorcery just gets these guys to flip. So I'm not blocking them profitably anyway, so I'm just swinging with Stitcher Supplier. Just get my poke in. So good. It's an old school Murktide. How many plays here? I'm just F6ing. Like I said, trivial. Even got the bobble. Yeah, prowess. We're looking for land. Yeah, land, let's go. Ah, it's not the right land. Actually, one other black. So that we go Stitcher Supplier double unearth. I think Marionette Apprentice, unearth another Marionette Apprentice is also decent. Put some pressure on board. Seiju also hits Corey Steel Cutter though. So maybe we want to hold on to that. Maybe we want to go second Stitcher Supplier, unearth something. Leave up a Seiju for Corey Steel Cutter. The last time we didn't leave up a Seiju for Corey Steel Cutter, it was bad news. Marionette Apprentice is so good when it comes to attacking and blocking, though. We're Stitcher Supplying unearthing. Now we go Bogart Trawler. Nuke their board so their Darcy's become 1/1s again. Now we're back in business. Swing with Orcish Bowmasters. We have an Unearth. We have a Beseju for Corey Steel Cutter. We get to... If they don't kill our Bowmasters here, we get to kill a Darcy, which is a gasoline. Let's have Mutagenic Growth. Yeah, Mutagenic Growth. Third land, and then they just need a sorcery to get these guys back to 3/3s. Spear. Rest of iteration, so they're back to 3/3s. I kind of want to snap off a double block on Monastery Swiss here to throw 3 into my yard to try and find Warren Soultrader. Maybe that's greedy though. I think that's my out here, honestly. I'm gonna take 8 here. Another mutagenic growth. I think my out here is double block. Monastery Swift Spear, dump 6 into my yard. Try and fight the Soultrader. Found it. Okay. So the rule is half their life plus 1 is the rule. So we go play Beseiju, attack for 3. Go Marionette Apprentice, Servo, Unearth, Horn Soultrader, Sack, Servo, always yield, always yield, Cast Gravecrawler, Sack Gravecrawler, Cast Gravecrawler, Sack Gravecrawler, GG's. So here, I dicked around with Thoughtseize and it doesn't feel right. That last time I played against them and the match will be at the end of this video. I brought in Thoughtseize and they sideboarded very, very defensively against me. It was strange. Like they were spell snaring things. I think they sideboard into just blue-red Murktide, which is odd. But anyway, so the cuts here, we're gonna cut a Sephiroth. We cut a Chthonian Nightmare. We cut a Malevolent Rumble. Just Chthonian Nightmare. I used to cut all of them, but I like having access to one. Malevolent Rumble can be kind of dirtily sometimes. It helps you find pieces, which is big game. Maybe it is just both Chthonians. I'm gonna keep one Chthonian. I'm gonna keep one Chthonian Nightmare. Shit, is Chthonian more dirtily than Malevolent Rumble? There's an argument that it is. But Chthonian Nightmare can put you in really good situations where you can trade bullshit tokens or Gravecrawlers for good cards. His hand's hot fire. Keep. The reason I say that is we have 2 removal spells. We have a Gravecrawler we don't give a shit about sacrificing. We have Assassin's Trophy, which hits any creature and Corey Steel Cutter. Getting the beatdowns early. Nothing I can do about that. They have the exact opening they want. Monastery Swift Spear and a Mishra's Bauble. We're going to go Mortuary. We're going to put that in the graveyard. We don't want to hard cast that. We also don't want to have to Assassin's Trophy this Monastery Swift Spear. That's another blunt force truth. Slick Shot suspended. We're gonna go Swamp, and we're gonna play a Marionette Apprentice. I think we're happy to sack Marionette Apprentice. Now, there is the thing where if they kill Marionette Apprentice, then do Slick Shot, we're priced into sacking it to kill a Monastery Swift Spear, which isn't ideal. But then they lose 2 damage on the Slick Shot, which matters. Because then we can untap an Assassin's Trophy. Yep. Yep. See, here we get to get some value. We get to sack that, get rid of their show off. So we burn their lightning bolt and their show off here. 2 for 2. Good old fashioned fair 2 for 2. Sure. Here we're gonna go Mortuary, and we're just gonna leave up Assassin's Trophy. I'm gonna put that on top. We're just gonna leave up Assassin's Trophy. Because if they play another threat, or they just try and go all in on the Swift Spear to kill me, we have an out to that. Because it leaves them in this precarious situation where do they try and find spells to pump the Swift Spear, or do they try and find a backup threat? If they bobble me now, they know that their Swift Spear is not long for this world. This makes me think Spell Snare. I think I'm okay to take this 4. Or no, let's make them burn their Spell Snare. Make them burn it. Ooh, no Spell Snare. Okay. I wonder if their hand's full of removal spells. That's the impression that I get. So what's the play here? I think it's just Marionette Apprentice Gravecrawler, or is it just... What difference does that make? Because it could be Warren Soultrader Gravecrawler, they kill Warren Soultrader, bad news. If it's just Gravecrawler, leave a Flare of Malice, we don't have 5 mana to cast Marionette Apprentice and Warren Soultrader next turn. However, if they leave my Gravecrawler around, if I just go Gravecrawler, and they leave my Gravecrawler be, next turn I could go Warren Soultrader, sack Gravecrawler to make a mana, then play Marionette Apprentice. Now, if they end step like Bolt my Gravecrawler or something, Or actually Flashback Lava Dart because they have that, then that leaves me up Schitt's Creek. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go Marionette Apprentice first, make a servo, then play Gravecrawler, then play a tap land because we can't afford to pay life here. They have all the mana in the world, and they got 4 cards. Let's see what they can do with it. Nothing, I guess. So I think they just gassed out real quick. Being all in on that one slick shot and Monastery Swift Spear, especially with an expressive iterations, rough beats. But we'll see you guys on the next one. Alright, and we're into another game. I won the die roll. We're already winning. This hand I like because it's on the Stitcher Supplier Unearth plan. And we also have a Malevolent Rumble in the mix too. And in a game 1, it's okay to be graveyard centric. So we're going to go ahead and keep this. And we're going to go ahead and lose value and fetch a basic swamp. I surveil once when you can just dump 3. Alright, we got a Marionette Apprentice. God, are we... Is... It's just all prowess today. I'm stop blocking this. I'm more than happy to block this. Okay, now they don't want to give it to me. I wouldn't give it to me either. Alright, Sephiroth. Very good. That's Shock Overgrown Tomb. Malevolent Rumble. I think I want the Blooming Marsh. Orcish Bowmasters is pretty good too, actually. I'm not opposed to taking a Bowmaster here. Blooming Marsh. Sephiroth. I'm going to take Bowmaster. Having Marionette Apprentice with Sephiroth is big game, but we also have an Unearth, but there's a world where we'll probably be unearthing Sephiroth. I think that's pretty likely. I think Sephiroth and Marionette Apprentice do the same thing in regards to the combo. Sephiroth is actually safer. If they kill Sephiroth, being able to then play Marionette Apprentice and unearth Sephiroth seems fucking fat. Seems sick. The Blooming Marsh allows us to not bolt ourselves. It's like Marionette Apprentice so that we can just cash this unearth. Just save it for a rainy day. I guess actually we don't have to bolt because we can sack the Eldrazi spawn. They typically kill the spawns though. We don't have an answer to Slickshot show off. That matters. Cutter. Best card in their deck. Gonna growth on a creature I can block. And will block. There's a Warren Soultrader in the graveyard. Oh, so good. Soultrader off the top. The Gravecrawler in the yard. Well, I don't think we don't have access to 5 mana. Actually, we have a Marionette Apprentice in the yard. So we can go Warren Soultrader, sack Eldrazi spawn, unearth Marionette Apprentice, sack. Yeah, okay, cool. So we're gonna Bogar Bug, shock that in. Warren Soultrader, unearth Marionette Apprentice. They have a main deck surgical extraction. What's going on here? I think some people don't know that they take two. I think they're like, well, you pay a life, I lose a life. No, lose two. So sideboard remains the same. Sephiroth out, Chthonian out, Rumble out, trophies in, fatal push in. The mismatched Sephiroths make sideboarding easy. I take out the not as cool looking one. I did it with Plague Engineer to try and name Monk for Quarry Steel Cutter. Hasn't come up, and usually they can, I don't know. Like, they still have the one that Quarry Steel's equipped to. And they just need to fucking kill it. Like, cast a spell, Quarry Steel Cutter trigger on, like, basically they can just kill it, and then they get to keep doing their thing. It's not like Boros, we're just wrathing all their cats. It's so good. Woohoo! Well, we get to cast a Sephiroth. This'll do. Um, I think we get. I think we get. No, Gravecrawler's good with Flare. I think we get rid of Gravecrawler, though. It's the worst card in the hand. Swift Spear. Ooh, Darcy. Okay. Would you look at that? The more things change, the more they stay the same. Keep. It's a slow assemble, but super reactive hand. Bogarpog. Bolt ourselves. I don't like this because they could have Spell Snare. And if they have Spell Snare, it's fucking bad news. I don't think we have much of a choice. And I think we have to do it at our end step because we have to have them burn these on my turn so that they can't use them defensively, offensively. So like here, if they have mutagenic growth, they don't get to mutagenic growth out of Orcish Bowmasters and also attack me with the pump from mutagenic growth. It's like there's an if back in the day when I was in my prime, back in like 2014, 2013, there's a spell snare. Um, when Infect was huge, you couldn't interact with Infect in combat. It was just straight up against the rules. If you interacted with Infect in combat, you lost the game because all their protection spells also pump. So they'll just attack with a 1/1 Infect, and you cannot interact with it there. Like if they tap all their mana or something, then you can, and you have like Fatal Push didn't exist back then, so it'd have to be something like a Terminate. So they'll use like one pump spell and just represent a gives creature hexproof type creature. And so you basically had to do it on your turn. You had to cast your instants as sorceries against Infect. You just had to. Like you don't have the luxury of choice. I only have one card in hand. I'm happy to take this. I'm assuming it's a reactive spell. We cast in here. We just rumbling. Try and find that third land. There it is. Now we can go Marsh Flats. Fetch Basic Swamp. Cast Gravecrawler. Also cast Marionette Apprentice. Then we'd be running Marionette Apprentice into a Bolt. Or into a Spell Snare. So we're trying to combo next turn. We can sack Gravecrawler and a token to cast Marionette Apprentice. Yeah, let's just run out Gravecrawler. If they want to Lava Dart it, I'll sack it to Flare. Get rid of their one threat. But I think that's the last resort for them. Ponder, Expressive Iteration. Slick Shot, sure. Ponder. I'm going to not block. Sure. I'm happy to sacrifice this non-token black creature to get rid of your Slick Shot before I declare blockers. Taking it. I assume their last card like just kind of has to be Spell Snare. I'm gonna attack with that first, I think. Except their last card is Spell Snare, then we can just use this to Assassin's Trophy their Monastery Swift Spear. Like, it creates treasures. Treasures stick around. Lightning Bolt. Got it. I think I sack and just, yeah, leave up Assassin's Trophy for your Swift Spear. Just leave you with no threats. Because if you don't pump, then I can go Marionette Apprentice, Sephiroth, sack the token to Sephiroth, draw a card, drain you for 2. Yep. Happy to take one. Let's go Apprentice, Servo, Black, Black, that, Black, Sephiroth, Back Servo, Drainia, Gravecrawler, not bad. And I have Flare Malice for removal spells. The only thing that kills Sephiroth is a Lava Dart. I guess any removal spell, but if it's like a mutagenic growth, like I'm happy to take one here. Yeah, Lava Dart. I want you to sack the land. Get fucked. Okay, we're back for another round here. Took a little break, ate lunch, turned my swag on. Mono 3 drops ain't gonna do it. One lander that's a Beseiju isn't gonna do it. Down to 5 we go. We'll keep this. So we'll go keep. We're gonna keep Sephiroth. We're gonna keep Citrus Supplier. We're gonna keep Unearth. I gotta get rid of 2 things. So I guess I can't keep. Guess we have to get rid of Sephiroth. Because we don't know what we're playing against. And then we gotta get rid of Takanuma. We'll do it like that. Hey, they mulligan to 5 cards too. It is dangerous to go alone. Okay, we got a Gravecrawler. We got some value. A little freebie. A freebie for the boys. Fuck you. Oh, I don't care. I guess it's really good because it stops Flare. Let's go ahead and we'll shock. We'll attack for 1. The Marionette Apprentice. Servo. Yeah, Flare is really good in this matchup because when they play Devourer with its trigger on the stack, you can sacrifice its target and Flare the Devourer. See, they always, every time, they don't think of Flare, so they'll pop Bobble to draw a card. The fuck? Springleaf Drum. We're really 1 mana off from winning the game right here. Rough. Let's go ahead and cast our Gravecrawler. Wow, that sucks. Oh, it's this bullshit. Got it. Sure. We'll put you into the graveyard, then we'll unearth you. Sephiroth is so good against them because they can't sack the stupid Eldrazi spawn tokens because it kills them. We'll cast Unearth, we'll get Sephiroth. We'll sack Gravecrawler. Blade, sure. Recast Gravecrawler. Yeah, Sephiroth is so good against them. Okay, so big man of bullshit. So we want Assassin's Trophy. We want Fulminator Mage. Sephiroth is the nuts here, so we're gonna keep Sephiroth. We can go down on a Flare because Assassin's Trophy also plays that role. So go down to Flare. Orcish Bowmasters is really mid against them, and then Chthonian Nightmares Dirtly. So we'll do it like that. In the past, I've tried the Thoughtseize, Dothi Voidwalker cheese. There's also an argument for Rex Sage to hit Blade. But if I'm going that route, it would be cut all Orcish Bowmasters. I've been on this cut Bowmasters more than you think you should cut Bowmasters kick. So we'll try that. We'll try Rex Sage. This sucks because Beseju's good, but the rest of this hand is trash. Like, 6 it is. This'll do. I think we get rid of Stitcher here. Or do we get rid of Gravecrawler? I think we get rid of Stitcher. Let's dump Stitcher. Because we have Beseju and Rex Sage. And 2 of the 3 card combo. Sure, stir away. Kazi's command. Part of me wants to run out Gravecrawler. Just one, and then do I save Gravecrawler to combo and try and set up? But you kind of need to put a clock on this deck. I'm putting a clock. If they just want to snap exile this, that's totally fine with me. If they want to go Eldrazi Temple, exile your Gravecrawler, make a dork. I Beseju your Eldrazi Temple. Yeah, Glaring Fleshraker, that's what I was expecting. Okay. We're going to attack because they're not going to block in a million years. We're going to fetch Basic Swamp. We're just going to snap off a Beseju. I'd laugh so hard if they only had 1 basic for us. Okay, they have 2. Scale. And do they have Blade? No Blade. Okay, Temple. Ozlex command. I could sacrifice Horn Soultrader to itself. Kozilek's command for 4. Try and find Blade. Yep. And I yield all. Down to 2. Second Soultrader. Attack for 2. Sack Gravecrawler to Malice. Make them get rid of their Glaring Fleshraker. You have infinite mana. Come on. Another Fleshraker, and then just cast a spell. Okay. We're gonna make it a 3/3. I can go Unearth. Horn Soultrader. Assassin's Trophy. Fleshraker. They only have 2 basics. Good to know. Blade would be good because it can make an Eldrazi spawn huge. Rumble. Emrakul. Yep. Emrakul me daddy. Oh, he just plays Rex Sage, sacks it, and kills me. Or just fetch kills me. I think I want the Flare. I still don't want to Orcish Bowmaster. Sephiroth is good. I can cut the Chthonian, I guess. Oh, I want Thoughtseize. Am I over sideboarding? I think I'm over sideboarding. Maybe I only want 1 Thoughtseize. There's no Chthonians, no Orcish Bowmaster. No, I love Sephiroth. Maybe a Thoughtseize over a Rexage. Maybe no Rexages. Let's go 2 Thoughtseize. As we saw there, like, Rexage can just do nothing. And we have Assassin's Trophy and Besages. Like, having an instant speed way to deal with it seems good. Do we want the 3rd Thoughtseize? You go back down to 3 Flares. We could cut a Stitcher Supplier and go Thoughtseize. Especially considering we cut Chthonian Nightmares, I think going down a Stitcher Supplier is fine. Yeah, we'll do this. Keep that. So we'll go Marsh Flats, pass. Because we actually have a combo. Okay. Graveyard Dew. Let's go Bogart Bog. Let's bolt. And we can freely rumble here. And we need the 3rd land, so we'll just take basic swamp, put the Marionette Apprentice in the graveyard. Yep. With the Unearth, we actually have lethal next turn. Kozilek's command, of course, fucks that up. But they don't have an Eldrazi Temple, so Root Scale, tap, play Blade. Oh, Rumble, sure. Asking Root Scale, yep. Stir. Take Temple, sure. And you lose. Unless you have like Surgical specifically. So here we go Swamp. We go tap, tap, tap. We're in Soultrader. Unearth Marionette Apprentice. Make a servo. Sack servo. And there we go. Beat Brute Scale. Of all the colorless decks, I think Brute Scale is the one we want to see the most. Tron and just colorless Eldrazi without the Brute Scale bullshit is much scarier. But yeah, we'll head on into match 5. Or match 4, as you're seeing it. All right, here we go. Took the play here. We have Gravecrawler, Chthonian Nightmare, Several, Flare of Malice, and we can trade Sephiroth and Gravecrawler if we need to for a card. I think this is a keep. They mold a 6. Oh, did I say I wanted to fucking go second? If so, that's hilarious. Oh no, I didn't win. I thought I won the die roll. I'm dumb. I think we're playing against big mana again. It's weird to shock. Haggle. Oh, Dredge. Okay. With lava darts. So just Dredge burn? That's cool. So now they're going to unearth an Ox. Oh no, Cathartic Reunion. Damn, that Dredge is atrocious. There we go. Arclight Phoenix. Interesting. This is a really interesting Dredge list. I played Dredge last RCQ season. I top 8'd a challenge with Dredge right before the regional championship in Portland. I was playing Frogulus, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to play a fun deck, and I played Dredge. Then I went to the regional champ because my game against Boros is really good with Dredge. And then I went to the regional championships with Dredge, and I got paired against Boros decks with the main deck Leyline of the Void because of Mox Opal being unbanned and Breach being completely broken. It's actually... Well, the question is, do I put that on top or put it in my graveyard to try and unearth it later? Because actually, I can Chthonian Nightmare it on turn 3 if nothing else. So I'll put that in my graveyard. If we spike and unearth, I'd be busted. Unearth. Another Chthonian. We'll go... Tapped. Play Gravecrawler. Because then, if they unearth Ox, I can untap Chthonian Nightmare, eat what's left of their graveyard, bring back Bogart Trawler, and then sack Bogart Trawler to Flare of Malice them. Ooh, they took a natural draw. They have imps. So they can go Dart, 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 Arclight Phoenix. Shoot me for 3, attack me for 3, 6 down to 7. Six down to 7, and then... Well, no, they can't Dart, Dart, Dart. They don't have 3 lands. I think it's just Unearth Ox here. Yep. Oh, Cathartic Reunion. Okay. Dude, I would just be unearthing this Ox. Chill. Life from the Loams. Or... Life from the Loams to pick up lands for Conflag. One basic mountain. Okay. They're gonna bring back a Phoenix. Oh, 2 Phoenix. Got it. So this stinks. Because I go to 2, and if I can't deal with the other Phoenix, I think I'm priced into Flare of Malicing here. So their hope is to dredge into their... Oh, they've already burned 3 Creeping Chills. They ain't got no lands, Lieutenant Dan. So I go Orcish Bowmaster. Okay. So they probably have Leyline of the Void. So Assassin's Trophy, Dauthi Voidwalkers. We cut... Those are really good there. They don't draw cards. So it'd be Stitcher Supplier, Orcish Bowmasters, 3, cut a Sephiroth, cut a Flare. I think I want to cut another 3 Orcish Bowmasters, 1 Stitcher Supplier, and a Flare. For 2 Assassin's Trophies, 3 Dauthi Voidwalker. Actually, I think Bowmasters just in general might be bad. I could also cut 1 Chthonian, bring the Flare back. Action. 5 for 5. I don't like that. Sand's trash. Keep, get rid of Soultrader. I don't want to go to 5. Yep. All their deck can do is Leyline. We're looking for a Dauthi Voidwalker. Loan back some lands. I have been chilled to the bone. So I'll take Dothy. We're a turn too late on this Dothy Voidwalker. They have 3 Arclight Phoenix. Loot. Are you taking natural draws yet? They have 1 Lava Dart. I think they have to save that for next turn. So here's the real question. Well, I guess it's not even a question. I fetch. Get a swamp. I rumble again. Try and find Bogart Trawler. No Trawler. Just Sephiroth. Do we take the land? What's in my exile? I think we take the land. We take the land? Guess we'll just take Sephiroth. It doesn't matter. If they can find the spells to get back these... So now we're gonna go... I could cast Sephiroth, but I don't want to. We're gonna go Dothy Voidwalker. I needed a Bogart Trawler. I took a natural draw, of course. I have a Dothy Voidwalker in play. They can cast Ox. Just loot 3 times. So if they have looting, they could go looting. Lava Dart, Lava Dart. Okay, so they're loaming. Spell 1. Okay, so we attack for 3. Go Sephiroth. Sack Eldrazi spawn. Rain. If we go to 10, Lava Dart plus the 3, Arclight Phoenixes kill me, so I don't think we can do that. But what's our out if they Arclight Phoenix me anyway? Wait, do they have a Lava Dart? Yes, they have 1 Lava Dart, so... Because the question is, do I shock, play Gravecrawler to get a better clock? And I think the answer is no. Because otherwise I'm at 10, and then 3 Arclight Phoenixes plus Lava Dart kills me. If they can find... Actually, a second Lava Dart doesn't kill me because it goes to exile because of Dathi Voidwalker. Gotta take some naturals. And now they Lava Dart, get back their 3 Arclight Phoenixes. I can get a couple draws in though, I think. Oh, they didn't get their Phoenixes. I thought they had their Phoenixes. So now I can go Marionette Apprentice. Make a servo. Attack. Trigger Sephiroth. Always yield. I can go Phyrexian Tower. Golgari Soultrader. Sack, shoot you for 2. Play Stitcher Supplier. Sack, shoot you for 2. Play Gravecrawler. Sack, shoot you for 2. I think I can. So sack, shoot you for 2. Play Stitcher Supplier. Sack, shoot you for 2. Play Gravecrawler. Sack, shoot you for 2, sack the token, so... Wait a second. Oh, they don't fucking die! It doesn't trigger. God damn it. I fucked up. That may cost me the game because they can dredge now. I mean, they took a natural draw. Put into a graveyard. Read your cards, kids. They found the Lava Darts. And a Creeping Chill, so that's lethal. Fuck! I punted. I punted that so hard. They could even conflag me for lethal. If they wanted to. Oh no, they couldn't conflag. Yeah. I punted. I punted. Cut Chthonians. Bring Bowmasters back in, just beatdowns. I mean, there's an argument for Rexage. Because they run, the stupid enchantment. The whenever they cast a spell, they can discard a card and draw a card. Flare, bring in Thoughtseize. It's too late. Yeah, I'd like to play first. Chain doesn't have green mana for Rumble, but it has a turn 2 Dalthy Voidwalker. So yeah. Yep. Gotta play it. Run out of 1/1, sack fodder for later. Yep, that's fine. No lands there, friends. I was thinking I wanted a land that wasn't Bogart Trawler, and I mean, I got it, so let's go ahead and attack for 1. What do you got, like main deck Bolt? Or, sorry, post sideboard Bolt. Dart. You didn't realize it goes into the void. You may have, or they may have put us in the void, but I walk in the void, friend. Ask Golgari Thug. It's interesting. It still triggers off of tokens because they don't go into the graveyard. That'll do it. Yeah, so that's a 4-1. Round one, I think I may have mentioned it previously. I did lose round one to Prowess. I'm gonna put that game at the end. So after this, you will see that game with Prowess. But yeah, I played against Prowess 3 times. So I'm 2-1 against Prowess. Beat Brood Scale, and then as you saw, I just beat Dredge. Although I feel like I love Dredge. I am a Dredge apologist. I love Dredge to death. There's too much good graveyard hate between something as simple as surgically, in their case, surgically their Arclight Phoenixes, surgically. I was playing traditional Dredge with Narcomoebas, like a surgical your Narcomoebas, like whatever is important at any given time, like a targeted, well-timed surgical is very good. And then of course, Dothy Voidwalker is not around. I'm running it because I know how good it is against graveyard decks. When I play graveyard decks, it's the card I want to see the least. It's a nightmare for me. Um, and then what else have I seen? Tormod's Crypts forever, and all of the colorless decks, and Kappa Cannoneer decks. Yeah, Boros has the charm, the white charm that can exile a graveyard, which is really good. There's a lot of very good graveyard hate, and being so graveyard centric. Like I have a graveyard based combo, but I also have like a shitty mono black aggro backup plan. Um, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I'll go ahead and shut the fuck up and let you see that first game if you care to see it. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on the next one. Again, my name is Christian with Minitel MTG. Thank you so much for watching. And if you've watched this long and haven't hit that subscribe button, definitely appreciate it. It means nothing to you. It means the world to me. But yeah, we'll end it there. All right, round one. So this hand is has 3 mana sources and a rumble, but it doesn't have a green source. It has 2 Flare of Denials, but all it has is a Marionette Apprentice. I'm on the draw, which matters. um, this is tough because we have 7 green sources in the deck with Beseiju. More if you count fetch lands. Flare of Malice can be very good. We're on the draw. I think we keep this. As wild as it seems. Maybe I'm wrong, but Rumble is so good if we find a green source. We have a piece of graveyard hate. We have removal spells. Marionette Apprentice puts bodies on the board. Turn 1 Ragavan is kind of a nightmare, but I think it's always a nightmare. I'm going to keep this on the draw. Okay, so we're playing against Prowess. And Marionette Apprentice is decent against Prowess, but so is Flare of Malice is the best card in the deck against Prowess. So we're going to go ahead and play Bogart Bog tapped. And then they're likely... Let's see. Are we seeing a Corey Steel Cutter? There's a bunch of stuff they can do with 2 mana. They can suspend their Slingshot Show Off. Corey Steel Cutter. Yep. Corey Steel Cutter is their best card in their deck, in my opinion. It just non-stop threats. Alright, there's our green source. We're leading on Marionette Apprentice, just to get some bodies on the table. Let's make a servo, and then we're going to pass back. See, Flare is such a feel bad here, because all of these are tokens. Like, there's no mana investment into making their threats. Like, they get to trigger prowess and make creatures just whatever they want. They don't have to invest mana. Okay. So now they get another prowess creature. Okay, third land, so they can't trigger prowess again, which is great. Unless they have a mutagenic growth. If they have a mutagenic growth, feels bad, man. So we're going to go ahead and attack, or block rather. We're going to kill a monk. We're going to chump a Swift Spear. If they have mutagenic growth, I'm going to Flare Malice my... Yep. Okay. His attack kind of screamed mutagenic growth, but we have to stem the bleeding as early as we can. Let's go ahead and Flare. Sacrifice Marionette Apprentice. Rid of a Swift Spear. They're going to get rid of the one that blocked. The one that's blocked. And then I'm going to take a fucking 7 damage. Oof. No. 9 damage. It's half my life total like that. Okay. So this turn, we're going to rumble. We take Orcish Bowmasters here because we can Bowmaster shoot a prowess token. I don't think we're going to try and go for the combo. And even still, Warren Soultrader being in the graveyard is fine. We don't have a Gravecrawler, so we're going to take Bowmaster. We're just going to immediately Bowmaster, shoot that monk token. And if they have to defensively use a mutagenic growth, I'm totally cool with that. Okay. Nope. Leave it up blockers. This monk token having trample sucks. Another Corey Steel Cutter, so brutal. It's so the best card in their deck. Darcy. I think in response to Darcy, I kind of have to Flare now. Because I have to Flare now. Because I would rather get rid of the Monastery Swift Spear rather than the Dragon's Rage Channeler, just because I need to stem the bleeding. I don't have time. Dragon's Rage Channeler is worse like next turn. You know what I mean? And yeah, we have to sack now. This Monastery Swift Spear can't attack. Damn, this sucks so bad. Do we group block and take 4? get a monk off the table. Yeah, because the other ones have trample. So I think that's the play here. Yeah, I think we have to group block, kill a monk token, take 4. And then they have lethal next turn. Because even if we trump these, we're still taking 4. So we're going to group block. Group block one with reset blockers. Do group block one with trample just to... if their last card's mutagenic growth, I think I'm dead. And it doesn't kill anything anyway, so I'm just going to group block one with trample, sure. Okay. I do the one thing we can do, play Marionette Apprentice. Gonna make our servo. There's a quote-unquote argument for making a 2-3, but I don't think there's an argument. Yep, that's all she wrote. I'm going to concede. We're going to go to the next one. So against Prowess, we're going to bring in Fatal Push. We can bring in Plague Engineer to name Monk. And also just as a 2-2 Death Touch, we're bringing in Assassin's Trophies because we need as much removal as we can get. And then, yeah, Plague Engineer is a maybe. What are we cutting? Typically, I cut slow cards. So I usually cut like a Rumble, I'll cut a Thoughtseize, I'll cut a Chthonian Nightmare. And that's the 3 for Assassin's Trophies and Fatal Pushes. If I want to keep the Plague Engineers, typically it would be the second Chthonian Nightmare. And either Rumble makes a body and costs 2, so it's usually the go down to 1 Sephiroth. There's an argument for getting rid of Gravecrawlers because they can't block, but one of the ways we win this game is fast combo. Bowmasters is great because it can come in, shoot a Swift Spear, block with the token, and it forces them, if they want to keep their Swift Spear, to use a prowess spell defense or a prowess trigger spell defensively. If it's a removal spell, a bolt, a lava dart, something like that, that sucks, but that's damage that's not going in my face, and that's a trade-off we have to make. So that leaves us 10 3-drops still, 13 2s, 13 1s. Thoughtseize, there's an argument for Thoughtseize because if you take a threat, the threat is worth more than 2 damage over the course of a game. So there is an argument there. This has a Rumble, it has a Citrus Supplier, it has a Gravecrawler. We're not keeping this. It's a 4-land hand with no reanimation for Stitchers, and Stitchers can't find a removal spell, and Gravecrawler can't block, so we're going to mulligan. This hand is much better. We get to keep this. We get to get rid of a Warren Soultrader. And then we get to fetch a Surveil land, and then Phyrexian Tower. Phyrexian Tower can be really good with this hand too, because we're making tokens. So that can give us the 3rd land for Warren Soultrader if it becomes relevant. So their threat here is Corey Steelcutter or Slick Shot Show Off. I don't think we want the 3rd land, to be honest with you. Maybe we do, because then we can Rumble or something else. We're gonna put that on top. We're gonna draw the 3rd land. Let's not be greedy. And here we're gonna flash in Bowmaster because we didn't play the Phyrexian Tower to go Marionette Apprentice, sack. To then play the other 2-drop. Which I think is fine, because that sets us up for like Rumble play a 3-drop next turn. That math check out, that math checks out. Fucking Murktide Regent. That's a sideboard card if I've ever seen one. Sure. Let's go ahead and fetch now. So there's an argument to let their surveil happen first, so that they have less information. Although the fetch kind of screams Bowmasters, but in theory, I should have waited. So the correct way to sequence that is let their surveil trigger happen, and then once that's done, then we fetch, and then we play Bowmaster. I mean, I'm telegraphing Bowmaster to the entire world here, but so be it. No second land. I'm assuming the card on top is their second land. It's the only reason. No. It's weird. I don't know why they would give me the power this turn. Chucha. Now we go Phyrexian Tower. We're going to go Malevolent Rumble. Guess the double black doesn't matter. We have to use the green anyway, so may as well. Swamp. We'll take the basic swamp. Okay. Then we'll sack Eldrazi spawn. A Marionette Apprentice. Okay. Make a servo. Now we're going to attack. We have the combo locked up for next turn. If they don't just use their mana to blow my board up. Corey Steelcutter. Thought so. Bobble. It's actually a pretty slow hand for them. Not blocking. Unless their hand is like all 4 mutagenic growths, like. There's even a flare. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to keep as many bodies in play as we can. So we're going to go ahead. Well, the Phyrexian Tower is an extra drain. No, fuck it. We're going to go Golgari Soultrader. Ask Gravecrawler. Do our thing. Sack. Yield. Yield. Sack. Ask Gravecrawler. We're just going to. Another thing that's really important, it doesn't come up often, but see how these triggers are stacked? The drain happens to them before it happens to me. So if you're at 1 life and they're at 1 life, you can actually still sack, and your drain will go off on them before your 1 life is drained. So you can actually kill if you're both at 1 life doing this, because you'll kill them before you kill yourself. I can appreciate wearing down my clock. But I have 15 minutes. It's not like I have like 5 minutes on the clock. On the draw, I don't think we change anything. Thoughtseize is bad on the draw. Arguably. A turn 1 Thoughtseize to take their turn 2 play can be good, but I don't think we want it. I mean, there's an argument to take it over Plague Engineer just because it's better to have a 1 drop than it is to have 3 drops on the draw. But Plague Engineer has that utility of being able to be unearthed and naming Monk and then making them burn a removal spell. If they don't ever see Corey Steelcutter, Thoughtseize in that scenario is better. Thoughtseize can also take a cutter. Because they get to play a 2-drop before we get to... You know what? Let's run Thoughtseize. I talked myself into it. This is a 2-up. It's the worst top deck in the fucking game. This hand has a... Okay, so this hand has a Beseiju for Corey Steelcutter, and it has a Flare of Malice for a not Corey Steelcutter. It also has a Malevolent Rumble to look for more action. It doesn't have fetches, so having the Underground Mortuaries, while it does suck, it doesn't mean that we can't fetch one. Like, if this Swamp is a fetch land, that's irritating. So we get to go turn 1, Underground Mortuary, turn 2, Marionette Apprentice, leave up Flare for whatever their spell is, and if they Corey Steelcutter, we can untap Beseiju their Corey Steelcutter. So this 4-lander has tools to answer one of their... It has a way to answer 2 threats, 2 different types of threats. And they don't have a 1-drop because there's no shot that they're just running out a dry bobble like that. There's an unearth. That can be good. Let's see what we see. That's going into the graveyard, and we're passing. The fuck hand do they have? Okay, so no Corey Steel. No Corey Steel, no Slickshot show off. So I think we're actually free to just run out Marionette Apprentice here. Yeah, because then we can Rumble next turn and then have mana for Unearth. So let's just run out a Marionette Apprentice. Maybe they're just sitting on a bunch of bolts. Spell Snare. In this economy? We're not a deck you want to be reactive against. You want to beat us down. I'm assuming they have a Murktide Regent. I'm assuming their threat is Murktide Regent. And if their one threat is Murktide Regent, I think that's a decent place for us to be. Not Murktide Regent. Expressive Iteration. Okay. They kept the world's most reactive hand. Are they going to force a negation me? So let's lead on Rumble. We're going to lead on Rumble. We want a way to leave a black source up so that we can unearth something. We just sacrifice our way. I guess we could lead on Mortuary, see if we hit anything that way. No, because if nothing else, we want to play Gravecrawler. So we're going to sacrifice our answer to Corey Steelcutter and hope we don't get punished for it. Let's Rumble. We're gonna take Warren Soultrader. Just try and lock a combo up. I think that's correct. And then let's go ahead and let's run out Gravecrawler. Because then that lets us do everything in one turn. Let's run out Gravecrawler. Leave it up for Flare. I wonder if they have another Spell Snare. Pain is also removal spell proof. Okay, there's the Corey Steel. Lava Dart. Lava Darting actually sucks real bad. So they can flashback Lava Dart, kill our Gravecrawler, and then we need an untapped land. Taking 2. Untap land. Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize. Trying to think. If we rumble, make a dork, then Thoughtseize. So we have maximum information. And then we can... Let's just go ahead and rumble. If you want to spell snare or rumble, that's fine. Take Bogart Trawler. Or we take a backup Soul Trader. We take an answer to their graveyard? I don't think so. I think we take a backup Soul Trader. If we take... I think they already know we have a Soul Trader, so I'm going to take a backup Soul Trader. I'm going to Thoughtseize them. They have 2 Unholy Heats and a Slick Shot. They have to save Unholy Heat for the Marionette Apprentice. We want to give them 2 because we can just, yeah, we can. We're going to take an Unholy Heat. We're going to play an Underground Mortuary. We're going to put that land into the graveyard. We're going to go ahead and attack them for 2. Sure. They have Slick Shot on Holy Heat. So they can make another monk with. If they go slick shot and then they go unholy heat, they can make another monk, pump their slick shot show off, and then they can also lava dart to give more prowess triggers. I think suspending slick shot show off, playing a kind of defensive turn, is arguable here. Or preemptively lava darting our grave trawler, forcing us to use our Flare of Malice on a monk token. And then they can cast Slickshot Show Off, trigger Quarry Steel Cutter, they get another 2/2, and then they can Unholy Heat our spawn token and hit us for a bunch. That leaves them open to get comboed on, though. Incorrect. We're going for our spawn token. Okay. They can't tap that mana. They know I have the combo. Unless they have even another Lava Dart doesn't do it, so they have to leave Unholy Heat up. They're going to try and push. Going to Flare in response. So I think the play is run out Warren Soultrader and then just cast Gravecrawler. Because Warren Soultrader blocks pretty okay. And just cast Gravecrawler. Perfect. So if they go like bolt down to 6, they kill me. Simultaneously, like let's assume I could be taking a lot here. It has to be 2 spells. So if it's a threat and some type of burn spell, that's bad news. The question is, do I unearth here? Like, that's the question. Is do I unearth here? And I think I'm forced to. I think I have to unearth here. Which stinks, because it leaves me vulnerable to a removal spell. But I think any removal spell that's not going at my face is good. So we're going to unearth Marionette Apprentice. We're going to make a servo. So we have at least one free blocker. One sucks to block, but could save our life blocker. That's not a prowess trigger. Bolt. Yep. Bolt sucks. But if this Marionette Apprentice wasn't in play and that bolt went to our face, like that's bad news. I think this is bad too. I don't know that we'll have the life to kill them now. Like we would need to We don't even have the mana for it because it would need to be like Sephiroth. Like Sephiroth off the top. Sack the Gravecrawler. Find another land, cast War and Soultrader. Like that would be the out here. Here we have to block. Taking 6 is not an option. Let the servo go. Flare. Play Warren Soultrader. I think we have to upkeep, sack, Gravecrawler. I mean, does upkeep make any difference in right now? Like main phase, best phase here? Because we can recast the Gravecrawler. So get rid of Dragon's Rage Channeler. Cast Gravecrawler. And we need Sephiroth. We need Sephiroth specifically off of the top. We're free to attack with Gravecrawler here. Ponder, that's bad news. Yeah, that in and of itself, if it finds anything, it's lethal. Yep, it's lethal. Prowess is hard. Like, that turn back when I unearthed Marionette Apprentice, would that block have made a difference? I think hindsight being 2020, I think they sit on that bolt because they know I have another Warren Soultrader. Yep, this is 8, 7. Oh yeah, they just had it all. Okay, the Prowess matchup's tough. We'll move on to the next one.